Today we're going to talk about 24 holiday email marketing messages deconstructed. These are various campaigns that small companies and large brands are sending out this holiday season, and we'll take a look at what they're doing that's successful and some things that they can actually improve upon. So let's get started. Here's a company called Varsity Tutors, and they sent out a campaign about tutoring specials. And if you take a look at the message here, you've got most of the content there. It's a lot to read, but they do use a nice section of bullet points at the bottom. If you look at the top part where it says deals, and then there's a big square image there, this is what the message looks like before you enable images. When you enable images, you can actually see that it changes only slightly by putting in a picture there. And then I can see what the offer is. It says save up to $200 on tutoring. If I go back to this slide and see what it looked like beforehand, I wouldn't know without reading the text in the first paragraph that there was a $200 off tutoring special. So one thing they could do is adjust the alt text behind this image to include the special offer. Here's a message from Siegel Displays. They make trade show displays and material to go for exhibits. They actually did a pretty good use of the alt tag for most of their images, though not all. If you look at the top right corner, you'll see where it says Twitter, and then there's a couple of boxes that are blank next to it. If we take a look at the message with images enabled, you'll see that those boxes are for the Facebook link, the Google Plus, and LinkedIn links. And then right below it, it's actually got the phone number. Going back to the version without the images enabled, you can't find the phone number there. So they've actually used an image to display the phone number rather than text. So there's sometimes a case for using images, but in this case you might want to convert that image into actual text, HTML text, as opposed to an image, so that it can be seen very easily with the images not enabled. At the very least, if you do choose to use an image for it, put an alt text, put alt text that actually has the phone number inside there. Here's a message from a major brand, Sears. There's a lot of blank space in the middle. They've used some degree of alt text, but not for a lot of their images. And it's okay to not use alt text for images that are just supporting material on the sides of a main message, but to not have anything about what this special offer is, given that it's a holiday season, is missing an opportunity. If you enable images, you can see very clearly it says great gift sale, extra 5 to 10% off featured categories, and then a note to shop all deals. But here we can't see that. In fact, you can't even see any order now or buy now buttons visible without actually enabling images. So there's a missed opportunity here. Here's a message from one of my favorite restaurants, Paladar Latin Kitchen, and it's just a big green empty box. You can see the word Paladar up at the top because they did use alt text for the top image, but then there's nothing in the middle. And so if I take a look at all this, I can see that the two big blocks were for the images of the coffee up at the top, and then the opening text introducing Rise Up Coffee in capital T's. Because right there below it, it starts to talk about the text. We care deeply about making sure our guests and so on, which is the text you see at the bottom here. However, if I had not enabled images, my main view before I started scrolling down would have just been a big green blank screen. And so I wouldn't really know necessarily what this is about. So trying to make your message look good without enabling images is pretty important, because you can miss some opportunities here. It would have been very easy to delete this message without really knowing what it was about. Now here's a company that is getting this correctly, how to use messages before you enable images. This is a message from Macy's, and you can see that right in the middle it says 1-day sale ends tonight. Up at the top, 13 days left. Order by 12/22 for guaranteed and then it cuts off. But that's okay because the images aren't fully enabled and the formatting isn't quite correct. But you can see that this looks really nice. In fact, even in the lower part of this message, you can see where it says Web Busters, and they used bold font and non-bolded font to make the image, make the appearance of that text being almost like an image, where you have some variations in the text style to draw more attention to it. But you can see very clearly what this ad is about. You can also see links to different sections so that you can make purchases right away. Go shop for women, men, for the home, and so on. When you enable images, the message looks a little tighter, which you would expect. You can see the pictures, obviously, which you would expect. But you can still see the same type of message, the same general calls to action as you would before enabling images that you do after enabling images. So this is actually a very nice email campaign that is probably going to be more effective than those that don't actually use alt tags or regular HTML text effectively. Here's an example from another main brand store, Kohl's. When you get this message for the first time and you see it, the first thing your eye is drawn to is up at the top where it says free shipping in red. So they got that figured out. They know that they can actually use text with the use of colors without having it be images. But then the rest of it sort of falls apart. You've got online today only, and then there's another big blank screen in the middle. They do a good job right below that where it says take 40, 30, or 20% off. And then the second thing your eye is drawn to is the code at the bottom. I've blurred the code out and I've pointed a red arrow to it just so you could see it. But those are the two things that your eye is drawn to immediately when you get this message. So you see some sort of code, and then you see that red thing at the top. Now when you enable images, can you find the code real quickly? No. What happens is that their image has so many of the same color elements, the black and white, which in this case resembles silver, as the code did. If you go down at the bottom where it says promo code, again I've got that blurred out, but that was just a black and white code string, just some letters and numbers. And it just blended in. You just sort of lost where that went. Now they do clearly know how to use different color options because you've got red to mark the 40%, you've got online today up at the top, so they've got a lot of vibrant use of colors. What might have made this one work a little bit better is instead of making the promo code in black with all the other black and white elements around it, to make that stand out in some sort of other color. Here's a message that is not an email marketing campaign, but it's something sent around the holidays. I found this to be a wonderful message. It's by a company called Fast Signs. They have chains all around the U.S. And so my local chain, which we'd used at one point to get some signs made, had sent me a note about their holiday hours. So they wished us happy holiday, they personalized the message, and they said, hey, we're going to be closed between Christmas Eve and January 5th. So it was just a nice touch. They sent me some information about how to contact them, had their phone number in it, but it was a real simple email. This is what that email looks like with images enabled. Again, I could still get all of the content without seeing the images, and so when I added in images, it made it look just a little bit better. It had a couple of links up at the top, and I saw their logo and so on. But it was a good message. So don't think that you only have to send email marketing campaigns to sell a product. You can do something as simple as this, just to let people know your holiday support hours or when you're going to be open. Here's a message that I actually found to be pretty useful too. This is one by Eddie Bauer, another big brand. Right at the top, they have a pretty good use of alternate text. It says, our gift to you, free $5 certificate. And then right in the middle, where I've got a red arrow pointing to it, is the coupon code. Again, I've blurred that out. But those are the two things your eye is drawn to immediately when you get this message. And that's even before you enable images. So when you take a look at it with images enabled, look at this. It says free $5, and it looks like it's a coupon. It's got a little cutout, as if you're going to cut that coupon out with your scissors, something that is akin to print coupons. And then it's got the certificate number very clearly identified. It's easy to find on this page. So again, before images are enabled, the main thing you're drawn to is the offer and the code. That's the essence of what that message is all about, right? And then when you get to the full enabled images, you get to the offer and the code again. And so they also put in the link to shop now. I really like this message. I thought that was very effective. Here's a message from a company called American Plant, and I included the top of the header that came into the message as well, just so you could see this. Now, it says here, a tinge of cheers as the subject line, and you've got one blank image in the middle. Very hard to understand what this message is about. My hunch is that this probably got a lot of people just deleting the message. I don't understand what a tinge of cheers means. Does it sound like it's something related to champagne or something? I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with New Year's. I don't know. But we still have quite a few weeks before New Year's, so this was hard to really grasp the concept of why they sent it this way. So when you enable images, it makes sense. It looks like it's all related to this brand name. The thing is, they've got information about their fancy glasses and all that. This is all an image. It looks like maybe a designer did this in Photoshop and then they uploaded everything to their email tool to send it out, and it was just one big block, one big image. But this message is completely useless unless someone enables images. So they've lost a big opportunity here. They could have put all of the stuff, all the text below fancy glasses, where it talks about what you get and what the price points are, and even their locations down at the bottom, their phone number and their hours. All that's gone because it's part of an image as opposed to being part of the HTML code within the message. Here's one from American Eagle Outfitters, another big brand. And so while you don't know exactly what the offer is here, you can get to the different sections such as women, men, gifts, and clearance fairly quickly. And so if I enable images on this, I can see what the offer is. This is pretty big. Buy one get one 50% off. The thing is, they're missing the opportunity because when you first get the message, there's nothing here that talks about that nice offer. Buy one, get one 50% off. Here's a message from Zipcar. This is actually nicely structured because you've got a lot of material that people can read even before they enable images here. So you can get details and that nice orange. That's not images enabled there. That's actual text with an orange background in a box. Fairly straightforward to do. And then when you enable it, you can see the rounded edges appear on that get the details box. So if you take a look at it, I just showed before. It's just a square part of the box, which is just a simple cell inside that message. And then here they added imagery to put the rounded corners and the drop shadow behind it. And then you can see, of course, all the pictures that appear and made it look a little bit nicer. And they did a play on it. Oh, what fun it is to ride, relating to the Jingle Bell song, and of course riding Zipcars as a gift. So the whole concept of this message was pretty nice. Now here's one that unfortunately you can't figure out what it's all about. Friends and family special offer. No saying what the offer is. Share one of the best offers of the season. Again, no telling what the offer is until we actually take a look at the images. And then we can start to take a look and see, after reading about it, that it's a 3 months membership of your first year, free, and then there's the holiday coupon and so on. So again, they're missing an opportunity if you're not explaining what you can in text without actually enabling images. Here's an example of this as well. It's a company called Misto Box, and so if I enable images, I can see what I'm getting. 50% off coffee subscriptions for you applied to the first shipment. I have no idea what they're talking about in this message though. Before I enable images, it's just one big empty box. And again, that's an unfortunate missed opportunity. Oftentimes we get caught up in the design looking really good for the image, and we forget about how this actually transpires over the journey that a recipient of your message experiences in getting that email message communicated to them. Oftentimes, if they don't have images enabled, they will just see a big empty spot, won't know about your cyber special, they'll hit delete, and you've lost an opportunity. So make sure that people can see that. Here's one from a company called DSW Designer Shoe Warehouse. It's got a lot of information about what you can have, but only when you really look at the image. Again, without the image, with images enabled. Here's a message that actually does a decent job of showing what's going on in the offer. It says 50% off site-wide plus free shipping, Cyber Monday steals. The thing is, it's so close to the menu bar where it says new clothing, jeans, dresses, and so on, that it might get lost. So if there were space in between, that could help a little bit. Here's what the message looks like with images enabled. Very strong, powerful, no confusion about what this is all about. It's one message with one point of communication. They're not trying to sell a whole variety of things here. They're just trying to get you to the store so you can shop and get 50% off site-wide. Very strong campaign. Now here's a message that I'm showing to you in its entirety as if you scroll down the whole thing. Let's start up at the top, and it's got a picture of a person. It's always good to have a person looking right at you, and then it's got different types of offers there. So again, this is a nice way to showcase different types of things people might want to buy from your store if that's what you're looking at doing. The next few messages I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show the images disabled part of it because I think you get the idea based on the previous ones. So here I'll show you some campaigns that look what they look like with the images enabled and some thoughts on those. Here's another one that I think is a pretty strong one because it's just got one message. It's not something you'd get distracted by. Save now, although it doesn't say how much you would save, but it does say save. But the thing that entices you to click is it says here, click here for promo code. And a lot of us are tuned into trying to get a promo code. I mean, how many times have you gone to a website, you're ready to place an order, and you see that little thing that says enter promo code here. And what do? You hop off to another browser window and try to find an actual promo code. So just the fact that they enticed you with that is a good thing. Instead of just saying, oh, you get X% off, click here for a promo code. And again, I like the dashed boxes, the dashed lines around the box there, so it makes it look like it's something that you snip out. Here's an email campaign from J. Crew. And again, right at the top it says 30% off full price styles. Use code HOLIDAY. So again, they're enticing you with the promo code, as we've seen several times before. And they've got a picture of what you might be able to get, and then links to take you off, like shop this look. Now here's a message from House 1151. I wasn't quite sure what was trying to be communicated in this message because they've got a picture of stuff wrapped up in presents, and then they've got their store locations. So that's kind of it. I mean, there's nothing about a special. There's no call to action. It just says visit the Holiday House shop. So not quite as exciting or enticing as some of the other offers that we saw. Again, just a few things and then you're off. Here's one from a company called Gracious Home, and I found this one really busy because you've got information about Hanukkah, you've got information about Santa being at an event, and then you've got red image, a red box overlaid on top of snow-capped mountains in black and white, and it's just hard to see. And then above it you've got 20% off, below it you've got limited deals 50% off. It's just got a lot going on. And so typically a message that's trying to communicate one thing, or just maybe a couple things really well laid out, like we saw where people are promoting different products, but they're different sections of the email that has those products. Those tend to be a bit easier to read, and so hopefully get a better response. Now here's a message from Google Play about different things you can buy there. This is pretty well structured. If you take a look, it's got the colors up at the top where you see the green, the blue, the red, and so on. Very much like the Google logo, where you've got all their colors in the logo too. So they're reinforcing their brand that way. And then below it, it's very clean, so you can see what you can buy. Nexus 9, Nexus Player, Sony smartwatch. So they've got a picture of it, a one-liner on what it is, and then learn more. Very nice, simple, clean, and efficient. Here's a nice ad, an email campaign from Einstein Brother Bagels. So up at the top, you can see the links to their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest pages. And the main thing they're trying to communicate is that, hey, we're selling bagels. Let us help feed your group. So they got a picture of a box of bagels, 13 fresh baked bagels, and 2 tubs of schmear. And right below it is a coupon for $3 off that baker's dozen. And it's got the expiration date in there, almost that got that dotted line so that you can get a cutoff. The thing is, this is all images, so unless they've got really good alt text behind it, it would be the message would be lost to somebody who didn't enable images. But otherwise, it's a very nice looking ad. It's got one message, one thing they're trying to communicate, doesn't get too confusing. Now, as I mentioned, you can communicate multiple products in a message very efficiently if you do it kind of like this. Here's one from eBay Fashion. Let's kind of walk through this one here. Bright ideas up to 65% off, and then they've got a picture of a coat. And the neat thing about this is, instead of just saying shop, it's got shop for her, shop for him. So instead of saying men's or women's, they know that it's the holiday season. So instead of trying to get something for yourself, you can say shop for her. So if you're thinking of something for that special someone in your life, you can shop based by gender on that. And they do the same thing for other sections here. Well, for watches, they've got different styles of watches, bracelets. But if you notice, they've got a green and black and silver theme throughout. So even the down jackets they have here is gray, so it kind of blends in. All very related to the theme. And then again here, a wallet, shop for him, shop for her, and then a black and white image of that handbag. With Mailer, you can create lots of different styles. So your account will come preloaded with lots of different templates. Here's just a handful of templates that we selected for this particular video. If you wanted to create a holiday campaign where you profiled one product and then had a few other products, very simple to do. Just upload your images and just type in a little bit of text, and your email will be completely structured, and we can do all kinds of tracking related to the responsiveness of your email campaigns. So if you aren't a customer yet, please consider trying us out. We're at mailermailer.com. If you are a customer, we thank you very much. Please contact us if you have any questions, and best of wishes during the holiday season.